It's a phone problem.
That works.
And I've got a track phone, which is different than probably anybody else has. It's one where you buy minutes, a package of minutes for phone, texts, and internet. And I've been getting a message lately that storage space is running out.
Mm.
So I started emailing out some of my photos. I don't think I have a lot of photos, but I've been emailing them to my laptop. And I looked up the storage analysis this morning. I've used 97% of my storage. It says 515.56 gigabytes /16 gigabytes. So apparently I've used 15.56 of the 1600.
16 gig. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 140. I have images of 345 megabytes. And I can clean those out. I have videos of 143 megabytes. And I can clean those out.
Mm-hmm.
Audio of 5.67 megabytes, which might be
Voicemail?
ringtones.
Voicemails? Voicemails?
Oh, no, I don't have any voicemails in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. If
So I'm
you've
wondering
listened
if
to some music or downloaded music.
No.
No.
See, I wonder if it's ringtones.
It could be.
Might be ringtones. No installation files, no documents. And other are 15.08 gigabytes. And I don't know what the other is.
Other.
It could be like operating system type stuff.
Yeah, apps that I have.
All of the codes and stuff that, make the functionality of the phone work.
Do you have a lot of apps on there? Because that could do it.
Well, I've been wondering, I've been trying to clear some of the apps out, but it doesn't
Seem to make a difference.
make a big difference anyway. I have large files are the 3 videos that I have, so I will eliminate those. Unused files. I've got a lot of like musicbox.org, OGG, a whole bunch of those, and I have no idea what they are. Should I just delete all of those? Music Box, Nudge, Piggyback, Shrink Ray.
Yeah, I think you could delete all of
Snappy.
that.
You play some weird games.
Out to go.
Are those games?
I don't know.
Very
Sounds like they could
possibly.
be.
Because
They're nothing that you put on.
no, one is tones, just general tones, but I could listen to them.
Oh,
So
my
you
guess is
think-
those are the ringtones.
Okay, so you think I could eliminate all
Oh, yeah.
or most of those?
16
Okay.
gigs is a very small storage space.
Yeah.
So I'm impressed that it's taken you this long to fill
Fill
it
it.
up.
I've got a book
the
on
amount
there.
the amount of video and pictures is relatively small
Well, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
compared to what's being used.
Mhm.
You still
Um,
have that book on there? You said you had a book on there.
I do. I downloaded the book without any problem, even though at that time it still was saying that my storage space is running out,
Oh,
and it's 700-page book,
Is this an audio book or a ebook?
ebook.
Okay. Yep. That could take up some space, but wouldn't take up too much space.
But I was getting that message that the storage space is running out before I downloaded the book.
Probably once you hit 1 gig left, it flashed a warning at you. Is my guess. But I could be wrong. so you could still download.
You be wrong.
I'm human.
It happened once.
Yeah. No. Once a
Many-
decade.
Many years ago.
In a
Oh,
land
we're
far,
hard on
far away.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like you're doing everything right, move things out, clean it up.
But that's about the images, the videos and the audio
Mhm.
just seem like, less than a gigabyte.
Yeah, it probably is. As there's been updates to the phone, it takes some storage every time it does
Uh-huh.
some updates. So I think the majority of it is over the years, it's collected some of that stuff and it just takes longer. So it means there's less space that you can store actual physical stuff because the phones, like behind the scenes code is taking up more and more space.
So they
As a-
want you to buy a new phone. so you can
Exactly.
Get more
It's
space.
their way of keeping you hooked and addicted and replacing things because things don't last the way they did 50 years ago.
I didn't have a phone 50 years ago.
But a rotary phone.
Well, I'd get rid of all those things that you've never heard of.
Gene, did you
All
say one of the
all those
things you had
apps-
on there was shrink wrap?
Yeah, unused file. Was it shrink wrap?
I just did a
Uh,
Google search for shrink wrap and all I've come up with is the normal, what you'd expect for shrink wrap.
It was
But
shrink
nothing-
ray.
Pardon?
R-A-Y.
Oh, shrimp way. Well, let me try that.
Ray, R-A-Y.
All right.
It sounds like malware to me, but
Yeah, well, that's what I was just trying to see if I could find what it might be.
I just found this section this morning, so I haven't a chance. Apparently I can listen to everything to see what it is.
It has to do with shrinking yourself.
it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I'm
It's one of those shrink rays.
I'm shrinking. I feel like Dan.
Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah.
Well, I know when I upgrade my iPhone that all of a sudden new apps show up that I have no use for and, they're just junk.
Do you know how to delete them?
Yeah, I hold them till the little X's are there and I click on the X and then yeah, I know how to do that.
Okay. Just double checking.
Yes.
Yes.
So, okay, well, I will try that. I just need to have it as clean and good as I can for the summer because that's my only phone.
Mm-hmm.
But I use it for calls and texts.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much is all. So that's not a big problem there. The battery seems to be working well still, holding
Good.
well.
Trax phones are good for battery life. They stay longer than I'd say the smartphones do. So
It's a Samsung phone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
yep. But yeah, it looks like you're on the right track.
Okay.
It just is frustrating because there's not a lot of storage and they want you to upgrade.
And I've just been ignoring the message all these times.
How
Oh,
long
Karen
is
has
it?
something.
Just for reference, my Android smartphone
Uh-huh.
says the system itself takes up 20 gig.
Okay.
So,
My-
a large amount of that 15 must be the operating system itself.
Okay.
My iPad, the backup for it is 15 gigs. So it's pretty much your entire phone.
Okay. Well, wonder. I can't find out exactly what other is.
Another
It
thing,
won't let me-
you text on that phone, yes?
Yes.
It could be do you clean out your text messages after you get them, or do you keep them forever? Because that would be another way you clean up space, is delete old.
Yeah, the answer is yes to both. I do clean them out, but I do keep them also.
That would be a
Okay.
way to clean up some space too.
Now, when I get a phone call, that goes into storage. They let me know that I got this phone call and I made
Right.
that phone call. Should I be cleaning those out?
I wouldn't think that would take too much space,
But it could.
but it could.
Okay.
I always do that for spam calls. I block them and then erase them because I don't want them in my history in case they're somehow maliciously attacking. But I
question
don't
about-
tend to do that for other people I
Okay.
know, like you, if you were to call me.
Aw.
A question about that, Lynn.
Yeah.
I was told that if you block a phone call and then you delete it from your box, that number is no longer blocked.
Yes, I think we talked about this a while ago. Chuck thought the same thing. But from the research I've done, it does not do that. That's a myth from the
Okay,
research I've done.
I
Yeah, I
can
think-
clear out a lot then because they're all on my phone.
Yeah.
Shirley, if you go into your system folder and find your phone, scroll down through the options for your phone, you'll find an option there for blocked calls.
Right,
And all of your blocked calls that you blocked but deleted will be there.
okay.
You don't have a name back there, but they'll all still be blocked. Yeah,
And
we
most of
figured
them
that
don't have
out.
a name associated anyway. It's just a number or it just says possible
Right,
spam.
right.
Right.
But you won't know where it came from either.
Here, I'll show you how you can do this on your. What? Are you seeing my phone? No, you're not.
No,
No.
Interesting
Oh,
black
trust.
screen.
There we go. They always are changing things.
There you go.
Okay, so go to settings. And we scroll down to phone. And then you scroll down here to block contacts. You're going to see every blocked phone call that I've ever.
yes.
Yes.
Oh, there's my number.
Yeah, I saw.
Hey, wait a minute, my name's on that list.
Mine's not. Mine's not.
Oh my gosh, yes, I have hundreds of them on there.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay, then I'll clean out the other side of it.
yes, but then if you go to your recent calls, let me turn off my filter.
Yeah, I need to go to, I can just go into recent calls and delete all those then from there.
Yes. you can
Send
go
them
to
out
the
of
info
spam.
button.
Send them out as spam first.
Okay,
Do you remember how to do that?
yes, Lynn told us that.
But you might want to do that first and then delete them so that somebody who's following up on all those spam calls can investigate why you're getting them all.
Or go after them as a culprit of.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I don't know
Like-
how they actually do quality wise on that, but I hope.
How did you find that on your iPhone? Just, you went to
Um,
settings and then,
So yours might be different.
right,
because-
but you went to,
But it's under settings,
yeah,
and then if you go down, there's a section for phone.
oh, okay, I don't,
And then, so if you had like a general setting and then like calls or something like that,
okay,
and then block contacts down here.
okay, I don't think I have that.
Um,
I know that mine's very different than the iPhone.
yeah, I don't know. I think Nancy has a track phone. I don't know if she knows how to do this, but
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, it's Android, but it can still be a track phone, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
As opposed-
Jeans
What's the
is
difference,
Samsung
what's the
phone.
difference between an Android smartphone and an Android track phone?
Couple dollars.
Okay, so mine was only $200, so that means it's a track phone.
You paid $200.
It won't be a track phone.
I paid 40.
See, that's why I don't think it, I don't know, that's why I don't, why would, it doesn't say track phone when I turn it on, doesn't, my old one does, but this one doesn't. This is a blue phone. But-
So I think of track phones as kind of Gen 1 of smartphones.
Mhm.
Just kind of do the bare minimum of like connecting you to the internet and stuff. Very limited storing, as we found out today. But smartphones do have more capability with other things on the internet and things. But I don't know if that's accurate, or if that's just my imagination. I'll have to do a Google.
Well, I can't find any of the things you're talking about, so maybe it is, I don't know. I'm like, where do I get into the system stuff?
Is there a settings section?
There's settings. There's wireless and networks, then there's basic settings, and that's got display, navigation bar, sound and vibration, apps and notifications, more settings, has security and location, accounts, digital well-being and something.
Digital well-being.
Google, another more settings, just, oops, what's this one? Oh, there we go. Oh, shoot. I just hit the wrong thing now. All right, wait a minute. More. Oh,
I've got that on my phone too, Nancy.
I
Oh,
hate
shoot.
that one. Well, because you're trying a bunch of different things, and then when you hit it, you don't know which one was the right one. Oh, here we go. Hardware. The memory is 3 gigabytes. Storage is use 47.76 gigabytes free. Then other accessibility, powered system update, reset options, that's all it, oh, wait a minute, here's blue privacy, oh, that's privacy settings. I don't know. But so memory and storage, does that tell you anything?
That's kind of where Jean was earlier today, looking at her storage of how to get rid of stuff.
And how much storage did you have, Jean?
Apparently 16 gigabytes, although I'm looking something else now and it says I've got 429 megabytes free. And memory have 643 megabytes free.
Okay, I finally found it. Mine, I have 64 gigabytes. My storage.
Whoa.
So
Oh,
that's
wow.
maybe why you spend 200 versus.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Could be.
Um,
Okay.
But the quick Google search I did, it looks like track phones is like a prepaid package versus
Oh, okay.
a just generic cell
Pay-as-you-go.
phone package. And it can give you more coverage than say a regular cell phone. But that's just a quick Google search.
A track phone can give you more coverage than a regular phone?
According to this one website, I don't know how accurate. I'd have to do more research than just one web page.
They contract with all the major servers. And so they go all the way across the country. It's not regional. They contract with all the regional servers so that you can get service almost anywhere.
Well, isn't that the same as Verizon or T-Mobile or all those?
They work with T-Mobile and Verizon or AT&T. It's not just Verizon, say.
Oh, so normally a smartphone, you have only one provider.
You can
one-
turn on roaming, which eats up more of your battery life and search data, cellular data, but track phones just work with everybody.
All right. right, well, it's above my pay grade.
So Lynn, there's nothing dangerous or wrong with going in and all the list of all the blocked phones and you can't get rid of that list, can you?
You mean having that in your block phone record?
Yeah,
I don't think there's a way to get rid of that.
there is a way to unblock them though, which I just discovered. So
Right. You
I
want to
went-
keep them blocked.
yes, but Bill accidentally blocked his cousin.
Oh, well, you can go in and
Well, I think he blocked it on somehow on email. It may have been on the phone. Anyway, she can't send him any emails or do anything with him. She has to send everything through me now. So I'll have to look at his phone and see if he's got her blocked.
if it's a phone call text, that would be how he can
Right.
fix it. If
Right.
it's email, you can move them out of spam.
Yeah,
stuff.
well, we've tried. It hasn't worked.
Maybe it was a purposely, block.
No, he did that. He didn't know what he was doing at the time. So, check.
Well, I have a question, and it's short of my granddaughter hasn't played with it yet. She's walked me through it. I can't figure it out. I had downloaded some photos, some JPEGs from a internet website,
Mhm.
and I want to get rid of them, and I just can't. I click on it and hit delete, and it says deleting, but it's still there. And then since that time, and so like I've turned the phone on and off and everything, since that time, I accidentally downloaded something I was looking at. And when I tried to get rid of that, it was fine. I just did the same thing, clicked on it, said delete, and it went away, but it was a PDF, not an image. So is there a way I tried like brushing them off or whatever, and I've tried having the picture open and saying delete, and I've had it just being the little icon thing. And is there some secret that I'm missing that you would know without looking at my phone?
So this is your phone, not your computer.
This is my phone.
Did you try restarting your phone?
Oh yeah, I turn it
Okay.
off every night, so it's happened a couple of times.
I'm so proud of you.
But yeah, Heidi
so-
thinks it's maybe just a glitch in there. It's a mistake. I mean, they're not doing something right. And like with the next update, maybe they'll catch that.
Maybe. So you downloaded it and it's in your folder, in your photos app in your phone?
Well, it's in my downloads, but it's also, you can go into downloads and say images and it comes up there. But that's what I was thinking. Would it do any good if I tried to move it to someplace and then delete it? But then it would still be in downloads, wouldn't it? I'm thinking, if I got it,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Without seeing your phone, I'm not sure I can
Yeah.
figure that one out because I've never seen a phone that had a downloads folder and then a photos folder.
Oh, well,
I think all Androids do.
Oh, do Androids do that? That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of that?
Androids use a DCIM like a camera does.
Eh.
And then there's a downloads folder.
So
and
do you have
you can move things around if you have what's called a file manager on your phone.
So do you have any theories for Nancy?
I don't. I don't know why it wouldn't delete.
Yeah, and there were 3 pictures and I wanted to delete one. So then I tried deleting any of them. Now, I don't know if I could say wipe out my whole download folder if it would work, but I'd sure hate to lose some other things and not lose.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Have you tried taking them into the trash?
That's what I'm doing. I'm clicking on it and saying trash, and it doesn't do it. It doesn't slide over to the trash can. You have to highlight it and then hit the trash can. But, it doesn't like it. So anyway, but I'll get Heidi, like so many times somebody that knows what they're doing pushes all sorts of things and finally they get it to work. And then of course they don't remember what it was that actually made it work. So
Oh, yes.
That's
All the
happened to me
time.
before.
yeah, me too.
Uh-huh. Me too.
But I guess it's not taking taking up memory or anything, or storage or anything. It's like 57K or something. I don't know. But it's just, I don't need it. And besides, I don't think the the website can't get me through that, can they? After it's downloaded, it's not, they don't have access to it.
What website was this, if you don't mind me asking? Because it kind of sounds like malware type thing where you can't do
Well,
things.
yeah, that's true. Well, it was, oh, I don't know the exact website, but it was Staniel Key Resort in the Exuma, Bahamas. So, because I wanted a picture of the yacht club there. I got a nice picture, and actually the picture didn't help me anyway because it wasn't a great angle, but anyway. So I don't, yeah, it could be, Bahamas could be full of hackers.
Doubtful, but possible. I don't know,
Yeah,
other than looking at it and playing with it.
yeah. Well, if Heidi plays with it and can't, someday I'll let you play with it. But I mean, it's not doing any harm, I don't think, with how little space it's taken up.
You're not in Jean's situation where she needs to clean space out, so
No.
I wouldn't worry about it at this point. But still worrisome.
Yeah.
I'd be curious if an update does do something. I doubt it.
Okay. That was just, Heidi's thing was somehow it's probably because she'd said she's had stuff like that, but then eventually it does go away. But this has been about a week and a half, 2 weeks now. So
Long time.
Yeah. Did it get uploaded to your Google Photos?
no, because I looked at that too to see if it was. No, it's not.
Okay.
So it's just sitting there because that's what I was thinking. Should I try to do that and then delete it from that? But then thinking, well, wait a minute. If there's something wrong with this, I don't want to
Right.
get it in everything. So
Right. Yeah. Interesting. Well, something to think about.
as if we don't have enough. Oh,
So maybe we'll figure it out for you. Or it just magically will poof. Doubtful, but possible.
There are a couple of Apple updates coming in because my phone is installing 15.5. And then I just got a thing from Mac OS Monterey 12.4 is available and will be installed later tonight.
That's been out for a week or two.
Well, it hasn't come to me. What can I say?
Yeah, sometimes you have to, if you know it's there, you just have to go there and do it.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. Cool. Any other questions or things to think about? Yes, Miss Karen. Oh, sorry, Chuck.
muted.
You're muted, Karen.
Sorry. I'm wondering how I clean up my laptop.
Clean up with downloads, with photos, with documents, with trash, with operating system, or all of the above.
All the above. Because I'm wondering, it's still so slow. I'm wondering if I clean it out and get rid of stuff, if that'll help.
Very possible. Do you want to share your screen and we can look at it?
This is going to be novel.
You've done it before. You can do it again. We're learning all kinds of ways to clean your storage, from phones to computers. It's an exciting day.
Spring cleaning.
I'm the purge.
It is spring cleaning. So
This isn't what you want to see, though, is it?
you can close out of the browser. So the first, how often do you clean your trash can? Empty your
Not enough.
not enough. So that would be a step one, easy
Okay.
fix, but you can close out of the browser first.
That's click at the bottom, right, on
You
the,
can do that or up at the top with the X. Yep.
Ooh. Ooh, that's pretty.
Pretty.
Ah,
Oh.
let's go.
Yeah, one of our trips.
Nice. So yeah, the first thing you can do is empty your recycle if you know that there's nothing in it that you,
So clean the trash can out
yep.
and then delete the trash or delete the,
You don't want to delete the icon, but just right click and empty trash.
okay.
Where it says recycle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Karen, if you want to show others how to do it, you can go up to the top. You don't have to do it now if you don't, if you want to go through it and make sure there's nothing in it.
So go to the top.
Do you see on your desktop, the top left, there's a recycle bin?
Oh, thank you.
Yep. I'm impressed how clean your desktop is.
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to do stuff, so. And I really only use it for emails.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like you don't have a lot in there. But you can just hit that empty recycle bin. If there was anything you saw there that you're like, oh, I want that, you could restore items. Or just
Yeah.
drag it to your
You have a
desktop.
London 27 folder.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to keep that in. That's on your quick access. That's not in your recycle bin.
Hmm.
The recycle bin is the stuff on the right-hand section.
The
Okay.
original location
Right.
column.
The original location is what is in your trash. So it looks like you've got a shortcut from AOL Mail, which you probably don't need, because you've got that on your desktop currently. It's got a couple documents from your OneDrive account, but nothing super big. Do you want, so you probably don't need to empty it right now because it's not going to save you a ton of, can you go down to this PC on the left column? Do you see that?
Yeah.
So this is going to tell us how much, so you're using 700 gigabytes. Oh, no, that's free. So you're only using 200 gigs of 900. So you have very little stored on this computer. So cleaning
Sure.
up your documents, photos, things like that, I'm guessing is not going to speed up your computer.
Where are you seeing the?
Oh, I'm sorry.
how
So
much gigabyte?
on the right-hand section, do you see there's folders, and there's 7 folders? And then, so 3D objects, downloads, videos, do you see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
Underneath that is devices and drives.
right.
Your OSC drive, the C drive is where everything you're saving on your hard drive currently. So that's where you're saving your documents, your photos, your music, your anything pretty much on your computer is saved to the C drive.
Okay.
And it says that there's 777 gigs out of 917. So that blue bar is how much of that whole section of your hard drive you're using. So you're not even using a fourth of it.
Okay.
So deleting, you can go through your downloads and delete anything in your downloads that you're not using, or same with documents and photos.
Right, I'm
And then
just-
empty it, but it's not going to save you a ton of gigs.
Just curious what's in my downloads.
Mhm. If you double click that, you can see.
Is this church or is this
Yes.
Hey, Miss Gabby.
You're too observant.
I hear voices.
Oh,
So I could delete from this.
Yep.
right?
So you
Okay.
could go through this whole folder and delete things. So it looks like you've had 14 documents from this month. Last month you have 15 documents. And if you scroll down, do you see there's a bar on the right-hand side of this open folder icon? It looks like you've got a ton of documents. If you keep going to the right, there's a slider bar. A gray.
We're probably in the way.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
If you click,
I see
say,
it.
one of those items in your folder, we're going to practice a shortcut for you. So click one of them. You don't have to open it. But if you do Control A on your keyboard,
The A is in the, okay,
the
all
letter,
right.
and then right click. Maybe. Did it do anything?
I hold everything down, right?
You can let go of the keyboard, but then right click on your mouse.
So it's 3 steps.
So the first
Control
step
A
is
click.
Control A, you hold down at the same time. That's going to highlight everything blue. That's controlling all. And it's going to tell you how many you have. Oh, maybe not.
No,
Mine
it tells you how many on the bottom left.
Oh, the bottom left. There you are. So it looks like you've got 1,134 items in this folder.
Okay,
So you've got a lot of things in your download. So you could very easily go through and delete what you aren't using anymore.
so you're trying to tell me how I can delete?
So what
push the
you can
control.
click that would delete everything. There's probably a couple items in there that you want.
Yeah,
So you don't want to do that. But if you just click set on the left on one of them, it's going to stop highlighting all of them. And then you can go through. So if you just want to click on, say, agenda or something. So you say you don't need the May agenda it looks like you have 2 copies of the May
yeah.
agenda.
I'm just gonna
So if you
delete
just
it.
click one, there's a big red delete button on the top.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
okay. Yay,
You could also right click and hit delete. It just is an additional step, or you could drag it into that recycle bin that we were just at. If you feel
Okay.
like it's more exciting to physically drag it. to the recycle bin.
Okay, this isn't hard.
Does it count as exercise, dragging it over?
I think it exercises your wrist. If you need some exercises for your wrist.
Yeah, but if you're doing 133 or 1,133 files,
Yeah.
you'll get writer's cramp.
Carpal tunnel.
Yep. But say you want to delete 2 or 3 items in this section, if you click one of them, and then hit the shift and down arrow, it will highlight multiple items. So if you see, oh, I don't need 4 items in a row, you could do it that way and it will highlight those items.
Okay,
Does that make sense? You could try it if you want. You don't have to hit the delete button.
so highlight,
Click the first one
okay,
and then shift and
Right.
hit the down arrow.
There's another way to do that.
Drag it. Yeah, just drag it.
Yeah, you
Okay.
could also physically drag it too.
I'm not very good at dragging.
So there are multitude of different ways, but if you've got 1,000 items to go through, it could speed up your process maybe.
Okay. Thank you.
But then you can do the same in your documents and your photos and go through
Yeah.
those.
Yeah,
But if speed is an issue, I wonder if you accidentally downloaded some apps on your computer that are sucking up stuff in the background. So how to go through that? If you close out of this section, we'll go to the app folder. I don't think we can get to it from this panel. And then in that type here to search at the bottom left corner of your screen, type in apps, APP, and it should select. So add or remove programs. So it's under settings. And then double click. Yep. Man, it is slow. I do wonder if you have some malware on here. So what you can do is you can go through here and delete apps that you aren't using. So it looks like you have 59 apps. And if you just scroll down that list, you're probably going to see some that you're not using.
Oh, they said 111.
Oh,
Gee.
there you go. It's upping. Yeah. I bet there's a,
Multiplying.
Wow.
so if you scroll down, you can see what apps Microsoft Corporation are pretty much pre-installed ones that the Microsoft company gave you. But like Candy Crush, I'm guessing you aren't using.
No.
And that looks like it was installed May 20th. It looks like it was just installed 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I wonder if it's somehow malware that got on.
So can I highlight it?
Yep, click that. Left click. Uninstall. And then uninstall again.
It says loading.
It's yeah,
Oh, uninstalling. Okay.
uninstalling. And it might pop up. Certain apps require restarting your computer. Some of them uninstall without that. But I'm guessing if you a really good way of cleaning up your computer is going through here and deleting any apps you're not using.
Okay.
You like ones that like are Canon, even though you're probably not using it. If
You have a
that's
Canon
your
printer?
printer, that if that's your printer, you don't want to delete that, say.
I used to have a Canon and I don't now.
So yeah, if you're no longer
So they
using
can all
that,
go.
Yeah.
delete those. But that date also tells you when you downloaded them
Right.
too. So if
Okay.
you went May 23rd, that was 3 days ago. I didn't download anything. That's a warning sign like, hey, this accidentally got downloaded, could be malware type stuff.
Are the apps that are on Karen's laptop also on her phone? I mean,
No,
no.
not for
Okay.
this case.
Okay.
It's possible for some things, but not this kind of way.
Okay.
If you had a tablet and a phone, there would be more likelihood of them syncing if they're under the same username and account.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, that's a project for you that will take some time, but
Yeah.
I'm guessing it will speed it along once you do that kind of stuff.
Can you see what I just got?
I heard a pop-up sound like it wanted you to uninstall something.
Do you
But,
want to
can't-
allow this app to make changes to your device?
I think you'd want to say yes to that so that you can delete it.
Okay. Are you sure you want to completely
Yes.
remove easy?
Yes.
Do it.
That's one of those dark patterns that we've talked about where they try to confuse you by the wording to try to trick you for keeping it. So be very careful as you read it. You want to say, are you sure you want to delete this? Yes. And sometimes it's like, do you really want to? Sometimes it's yes and sometimes it's no. And you have to carefully read the question. So be careful. But if it doesn't delete, you can go back and hit the other one. Okay, cool. It looks like you can hit okay.
All right, I've got some work to do.
You do indeed.
Yeah,
I'll stop sharing your screen.
thank you.
Good thing. I hope that speeds up your computer.
Yeah, I bet it
All of
will.
that.
Yeah,
Good luck.
thank you.
We look forward to hearing a report next week.
Oh, no, it won't be. We'll see.
I have optimistic hopes for you. You'll be like, oh, I want to do this now and
Yeah.
knock it off.
You know, something else, our grandson was over yesterday and he was doing, using his Chromebook, I guess, for school, because he was doing school. And he took that Chromebook down to the basement and there was no problem with him connecting. Remember I said I'm now connecting right next to the router because I was having trouble in the room where I was before. So that's what's making me think that I'm trying to avoid getting a new laptop. And
How old is your laptop?
I got it in 16.
Oh, wow.
Okay. There's
Whoa.
there's something you can do without buying a new laptop. What might be happening is your built-in web connector is dying. You can actually buy a USB stick that'll replace that and support your internet connection instead of the built-in one in your computer. And that would cost you $50 or $60 rather than the cost of a new computer.
Right.
And you would just have that inserted in your laptop and it would do the connection to the internet instead of the one on your laptop.
In other words, that USB stick would be sticking out of my laptop
Yes,
all the time.
yes.
Okay.
It's like a little teeny router attached to your computer,
Okay.
if that
Thank
makes
you.
sense.
Thank you, Stephen.
Sure. I've done that in the past. Shelley's laptop, her internet card went bad. So we bought I think it was yeah, I can't think of the name of the company now.
How do I know if that's the problem? Is there some way of knowing that on my laptop?
No, you're really inferring it from your connection problem or deducing it from your network connection problems.
Okay.
Without spending money to get it looked at, I don't know that you can confirm that. The best way I could think of is to see if you could borrow one and try it and see if your connection problem goes away.
And it's just called a USB stick?
No. It was Netgear. That's the name of the company. It's a network card, or not card. It would be a networking stick or a networking dongle, they might call it.
Dongle?
Dongle, D-O-N-G-L-E.
Okay.
It's something you can get at Staples.
Okay. Do I have to get a certain one because of my?
No, they're all pretty much the same.
Okay.
Some are more powerful than others, so they work further away from the router.
Okay.
But it is a possible solution to your internet connection problem.
Well, the price certainly beats buying a whole new
Yeah.
laptop. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think another thing you need to look at on your laptop after you clean up files
Right.
is how much memory is being used while you're trying to run applications on your computer. Because you can have a bunch of apps that are starting up when you turn on your computer that are taking up valuable memory but aren't actually running.
So if I delete those apps, will I get that memory back?
So if
Some
they-
possibly, but we're talking about two different things. Right now, when you delete those apps, you're saving disk space.
Okay,
There's another aspect to your computer that it needs to run called memory.
mm-hmm,
And the memory is probably 4 to 8 gigabytes on your computer. And the operating system itself uses a lot of that. But there are other apps using some of it too. And you might have apps running that you can tell don't run when I start up my computer, that'll make it use less memory. So there's more memory for the things you want to do.
So anytime an app is running on your computer, it needs some processing power, and the memory kind of does that for it.
Yes.
So if it when you open your computer, if things like Dropbox and different things open automatically, they're all taking a little bit of that memory storage. And you can see it's kind of like your phone. If you have the apps that say track my location, they're still working in the background all the time because of that. So when you delete apps in the that we just showed you how to do it, some of them will stop doing that because they're no longer on the system. So that might speed the process up. But it might, if it's still being slowed, that would be an additional step. And we could look at that when you're done
okay.
cleaning up the apps. That can be step 2.
Great explanation, Lynn and Stephen. Really, really.
Yes.
So if I get this USB stick, where do I stick it?
You really
Any
want us to
USB
answer
port.
that?
It's
Oh, there- Beneath my plug is a, do I put it in there, I guess?
there's a rectangular, there should be several of them. A rectangular opening on the sides of your laptop,
Yes. Oh,
and
I
it'll
just found,
have
them. Okay,
half of the rectangular opening blocked with a little. Okay, that Netgear one, that's a good example. It's got a big, it's got a large representation of the.
These are different kind of ideas of what it would look like.
Yeah,
And it would have this little stick that you plug in to, and you've got those on your computer.
I
It's
just
probably-
found them. Yeah, I
Yep.
just found them.
now did any of them have a blue color instead of a black color?
In the USB section, the USB-C 3
Yeah,
or
That would be it.
USB.
that would be a 3 instead of a 2. It would be faster.
Yeah, but with the your computer as old as it is, they probably didn't do 3 yet, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right. It probably doesn't have a 3.
Yeah.
So what you don't need when you look for those network dongles is a USB 3 one. So you'll save some money because the USB 3 ones are more expensive than the other ones.
Okay. And they won't work in my laptop anyway, right?
Well, they'll work, but they wouldn't work to their fullest capacity.
Okay. All right.
So you don't need to spend the money for the capability.
Gotcha.
Mhm. But
And I
yeah,
saw the Netgear one, the little one was only
$45.
$40,
Yeah,
and it was a USB 2.
and that would be all right for my laptop.
I'm sure it would.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah,
Thank
you
you.
could always do a like 2-week trial, pick it up, try it, and if it doesn't work, you can probably return it to the store.
Okay.
But I'll take
Thank
it
you.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
The
you.
other option The other option is a really long Ethernet cable, but you don't want that strung across your floor all the time.
No, no,
Not the 90s.
no.
Uh,
Okay, I'll
Okay.
try that.
Not USB, Ethernet cable.
Yep.
I'm not gonna do that. That would be a fall hazard for both of us.
Mm.
But yeah, looks like you've got some homework this week.
Yes, I do. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Good luck.
Lynn, while we were sitting here and you were talking about closing down apps and stuff, I went down to my taskbar at the bottom of my laptop, which has all the little icons strewn across it.
Your doc?
Yeah, the down at the bottom. And if I just right click on each one, I can quit them.
Mhm.
So, which is the easiest thing to try and quit all the ones you're not using and maybe get a little, more memory or speed or whatever.
Another thing you can do, if you look at your doc, since you're a Mac person,
Yeah.
you see all of there's a little circle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
Oh,
right
that's
click
what
on,
you're saying.
right click and I quit it.
Yep. Do you know the shortcut to quit apps on a Mac?
Control Q or Command Q, whatever it
I
is.
find that easier.
Yeah, but I was just doing it while I was sitting here because I didn't want to have to open them all and do that across the. Yeah, but I almost never turn my laptop off, so.
Mhm. Yep.
Lynn, you were giving a thumbs up to Jean about turning her phone off every night. What's the advantage of doing that?
So in Nancy's case, when she was having issues deleting things, my default is to turn it off and turn it back on again. So when she said she did it every night, it meant that we could rule that theory out because she tried turning it on and off again. So that particular case, I think, was helpful for her.
If you,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna, okay, so if you turn your telephone off at night, will calls still ring through, or
That's
that's
what I was gonna
completely
ask.
off like a television?
Completely off.
Okay, but isn't that dangerous in terms of emergency calls? Because,
Yep.
that's kind of why I leave it on in the night.
Yep. Well, and I do a setting on if for those that have iPhones, you can, I'm guessing Androids have this too, but I can't prompt, Stephen can answer this. There's a do not disturb and sleep mode
Yes.
where you can have emergency contacts ring through. So I don't want to get calls from, say, you guys at 1 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yes.
Why
What?
not?
Oh, can't
But if
believe that.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, if you call me past 10, you are not getting an answer from me.
Yes.
No.
I won't be calling you past 10.
But I have
That's
it
why
set
I
that
always text her.
but if my, say, parents or brother or grandmothers call me,
Yeah,
it will ring through.
right.
So you can just set that so those emergency contacts can go
Okay.
through. Which is what I have a setting, because there was a time that like a drunk person called me like 4 times in a row at like 2 in the morning.
Yes.
So I was just so annoyed. So
Yes.
that's a good thing to
But-
set up if
I'm
you don't do
sorry,
it.
I won't do it again.
This was like 6 or 8 years ago.
If you turn your phone off, you will still get email or texts and voicemail. That'll go in and it'll be there when you turn it back on.
Yes.
Right.
So, and same thing, I found out my phone's SIM card got messed up and I didn't have a cell service for 24 hours, and all of the calls and texts, I was like, oh no, I'm lost stuff. And it was on my birthday, and I was like, oh, all these people are contacting me and I have no idea who. But it turned out that once it got reinstated, all of that came back. So all of that tends to behave itself. But I never turn off my phone unless it's a software update or I'm having issues and I just reboot it. There's no right or wrong answer to keeping it on or off. I tend to have it on 24/7 because of you. I want to be reached in case of emergency because I don't have a landline.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Good questions. Yes, Miss Renee.
I just have one more. I know we're
Go for
running
it.
late. Okay.
Go for it.
Before last year, I had McAfee as my security.
Mhm.
But last year, when I got a new cell phone, I got WebRoot via Best Buy.
Mhm.
And I just never paid for McAfee anymore. And it says, and whenever it comes up and says, oh, do you want us to check you? I click no. But the other day they sent me a message, it looks as if you have two security companies, and that's bad, that they'll explode my, bad things will happen. Is that true? Because if I don't pay McAfee, I don't have them, right? Or I have to somehow unengage with them, regardless of money.
So sometimes, usually when you have antivirus software on your computer,
Mhm.
if it downloads a new type, it's going to say you cannot unless you cancel McAfee or something, because they're both kind of contradicting each other. They're both going, oh, they're antivirus, we need to get rid of them, and vice versa. So they don't tend to run. So when
not
you
lying.
so if it's going, hey, they're antivirus, and vice versa. So if you stop paying for it, it should still not work. But if you're not going to continue to use it, I would just delete it.
Yeah, you should
Okay.
uninstall it.
I'm surprised.
Uninstall?
I'm surprised it didn't make you uninstall when you downloaded WebRoot, but
Yeah, I mean, I just normally just, click no, but
Yeah.
then they came up with this new message. So it is kind of true that they might work against each other. So I've got to uninstall McAfee.
right. And you can do that the way that Karen.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I don't even have to ask that. I figured that out.
Yep. Yep.
Because, and it's just got that little icon in there. But WebRoot seems to be good if anybody wants to.
We like it. We've had it
Sell
several
your soul to
years.
Best Buy. No. Yeah, I didn't sell my soul. That's not what I did. So thank you.
Yep. But yeah, antivirus software, it's
Mhm.
pretty much one at a time.
Good.
Okay. Any other questions before we head out? If you guys need to sneak out, you're welcome to.
Oh, I have a question,
Mhm.
not about tech. Did we actually hire a new financial person?
Yeah. We have a director. We have a
A
finance
director, yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
They have not
Is it her
started.
name Karen?
This is replacing Donna.
Yeah, replacing Donna. Is her name Karen?
Karen is the finance assistant who we're also hiring for. So we've been hiring for 3 different finance positions. The preschool associate, which has been hired. We have a finance director, which has been hired, but there's still a financial assistant.
Oh, okay. So the finance director's name is not Karen.
No,
No.
and I don't remember.
It's
Our
Sandra.
current finance assistant who was working with Donna, and she's been there as long as I have. Her name is Karen. So it's her replacement that we're still hiring for.
Right. I applied for that position.
What they hired was a new financial administrator, and her name is Sandra Curick. She goes by
Oh, okay.
Sandy,
Thank you.
and she begins June 6th.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
One down, two to go.
Just two.
And
Yeah,
s-
right.
And Stephen, how is Shelley? Last week she was she was attacked by the COVID.
Yeah, she's on the mend. She's at work. They have a funny way of handling it. They say 5 days after you get your first symptoms, you can come in as long as you wear a mask.
But she no longer has symptoms, right?
We don't know. We ran out of tests.
Mhm.
From what I hear, you can test positive a month after you have symptoms. So I mean, she doesn't have any more symptoms. I don't have any more symptoms. So who knows? We had
But
to
she's
skip
wearing a
our
mask.
second boosters because we were positive.
Right. Well, at Marist Grove, we're not allowed to use home tests to test out of quarantine. We have to go down to the medical center and get a real test.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Ernie, are you saying something? You're muted now.
No, I was just agreeing that Kendall has the same policy. You have to have a PCR test to be
Right.
considered clean.
It's not easy, but I'm glad those of you on the call that have COVID are doing better. So
Right.
Mm, mm.
Hey, Ernie, I have a question about Kendall. And
Sure.
the person that asked me the question is no longer on the screen here, so I'm